Good day to you all out there in YouTube land. Willie here, good old wanna go fishing. People, something has been bothering me. And I've been trying really hard not to let it get to me, but it has. It's just eating away at me, just little pieces at a time. Just little pieces at a time. I can be thinking about driving to work, or I can be thinking about going fishing, or I can be thinking about riding the monkey, and all of a sudden that little thing will just go, that is bothering me. And I'm gonna tell you what it is right now. That little space right there. That has absolutely been bugging the crap out of me. Now, I don't know why. I really enjoyed using this rod. Now, if you saw the episode where I had the PC fin blade, let me hide back here, on this rod, we caught some really nice fish that day. And I'm gonna tell you what, this rod held its own without, it's a $39 rod, and it held its own without any issue. Caught some pretty good sized fish, and I was very happy with everything except this. Now we're gonna go over this one more time. Why? You might ask yourself. You can go ahead and ask yourself. If there's no one else around, no one's gonna, think you're crazy or anything, so go ahead and ask yourself, what is it about this that bothers me so badly? Well, I'm gonna show you again as a repeat. When I go to grab this thing to use it, this little area right here where my hand is no longer on the foam, it's on this fiberglass graphite aesthetically pleasing shaft that comes out from under there. And it's just awkward, it's goofy. Now, I've talked with several other people who agree. They've bought rods here or have used rods that have this same little thing that just doesn't make any sense. Again, are they just trying to copy the big names and go, we want to look this way too, so people will go, ooh, look what they're doing. That looks as good as the $150 whatever. Let's buy it. I don't know. I don't know what it is or why, but I can tell you this, it's uncomfortable and I don't like it, and I want to figure out a way to take care of that problem. Now I'm going to show you real quick. I think I got one over here. This is a Berkeley lightning rod. Do I have to say anything? Look at that. Look. Okay, there's a lot of rod back here that may be somewhat useless. But if you're going to do this, at least take it past where a normal individual's hand would be. Okay? I'm not talking about like if you're Shrek or something and your hand is this big or whatever, or the Incredible Hulk or whatever. This is just so much more comfortable. Great rod. I use them all the time. This is more your flyweight right here, but I enjoyed it, and I don't like wasting money. Okay, so we're going to try to figure out a way today that I can go out and use this thing and be happy with it and be content and think joyful thoughts and sing Disney songs, and animals will come running out of the woods and sing along with me. Things like that when I'm using this particular rod. That's what we're looking for today. So come along with me. Got a few little things we got to do. We have to test drive a car today. That's going to be fun. We have a 2004 Acura TL that has, saying it nicely, given us problems. Long story. But anyway, what we're going to do is try to figure out a way to take care of that, take the car for a ride, and maybe visit a couple places that might help us with this issue right here. I have some ideas. Scary. I know. But I have some ideas. It's supposed to start raining sometime in between 6 and 8 o'clock this afternoon. So maybe if we get this taken care of, we'll head out to the lake and see if we can test drive it. Anyway, let's get out of here and go see if we can find a couple of things that may help us with this. Wow, that was a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but it always is. Always is. I'm a talker. Can't help it. Come from a long line of talkers. Storytellers. People that just can't shut up. It's just in our blood. I don't know what else to tell you. Hey, boo. What you doing? So here we are at Harbor Freight. I obviously am not in the Acura. Went out to start the Acura, and the power steering pump that we replaced was moaning and groaning and whining louder than a 5-year-old passing a Dairy Queen. It just has a problem. I don't know what it is. Air in the lines, whatever. To me, it's just another issue. I don't know what it is, why I have problems with automobiles so much, but I do. So anyway, one more car problem to have to deal with. We're going to go in Harbor Freight, and I'm going to try to find some paracord rope. Now, I have an idea. We're going to try to give this a shot. If this works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Well, we're not going to harm the rod in any way and mess it up to where it can't be used. So we're going to give this a try, see if it works out. If not, we'll find other ways to handle this. Okay, so we're back at the house with our Harbor Freight possibly broken stuff, or stuff that will possibly break, one or the other. And we're going to go inside and try to give this whole idea that I have about putting something in that gap on that rod and just see if it works. That's all we can do. The only other thing that's really possible to do is actually order a piece of foam or something to go there, split it on one side, and put it together like a clam, glue it, maybe sand it down and go from there. But I just didn't feel like waiting. I wanted to try something different and give it a shot. Get out there and see if it makes a difference. The hardest part of this is going to be making that rope stay. I'm no master of knots by any means, but we're just going to try this and see what happens. That's all we can really do. You don't know unless you try. So we'll try. See you inside. Well, Heidi-ho there, neighbors. We are back again. And what we got is, what I'm going to try, paracord. We have a roll of paracord here, and it's in a kind of a camo sort of flavor, I guess you'd call it. And what I'm going to make an attempt to do is wrap this paracord tightly around the shaft of this rod, using a form of knot that we usually use for hooks. All I can say is we can give it a try and hope that it happens, hope that it works. I also bought a cheap glue gun, some cheap glue, just in case. I'm hoping that I can tie this off somehow toward the end, because my hand isn't going to be all the way down here. So for casting, it might touch it or whatever, but at least I'll have a full-size grip here instead of feeling like I'm holding on to a chicken leg. And not a good chicken leg either. I'm not talking KFC original or extra crispy. I'm talking no meat. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. No meat there. So we're going to give this a shot and see what happens. If it doesn't work, we just untangle it. Take it off and we come up with some other way. Maybe, like I said, putting another piece of foam in there and sanding it down. That would be the professional way to do it. It'd probably be the right way to do it. But right now, I don't have the right way. Like they say, not Mrs. Right, just Mrs. Right Now. And right now, this is Mrs. Right Now. So anyway, I'm going to wind this thing, and you can watch, but we're going to speed you up and make you where you don't have to watch all that. And then hopefully at some point we'll be able to take this thing out and give it a shot and see what happens. See if it comes apart in the middle of the cast or whatever, But we're going to put a different reel on it this time. I actually would like to try one of my Abimatic 170s. New ones, the newer ones. I think that would be fun. I think it would. Don't know what you think, but I think it would be fun. So let's just see if we can make up the difference here. If not, I'll be able to start 8,000 lawnmowers with how much cord I got here. That comes untied, it deserves to. So what I'm going to do is snip the ends off of this and then take a lighter and burn it so it'll not fray. I got to tell you, that feels good. Let me go get my lighter. Not something I keep around, so I'll be right back. So I have pulled that knot as tight as a knot can be pulled. I pulled it with pliers, I pulled it with my bare hands. I have pulled that knot tight, okay? I'm going to cut these now, and we're going to light the ends and kind of keep it to where it will, you know, not come undone, or at least hopefully not come undone. But all in all, this is pretty tight. I think I've done a pretty good job of keeping it that way. And I think this might work. Go ahead and cut this and leave a little bit of length to be able to grab a hold of in case I have to try to pull it a little tighter again at some point. And then we're going to do this here. And that right there should keep that from coming apart. It's for casting. That should work. What I'm going to do now is grab a reel real quick. This is what might go on it. Let's take a look at how dirty, filthy it is. It might need to be cleaned up a bit. It's got some line on it that I do not like. So I noticed something while I was taking the 170 apart, the new Abimatic 170, newer, whatever you want to say. It had the same mechanism inside it that the PC fin blade did for being able to use braided line. I'm going to show you what that is right now using the PC fin blade. It's kind of amusing to me. On the retrieval pin, it actually is sleeved, okay? And I don't think you can probably see that. There's probably no way. But anyway, it rolls. There's a hard pin that comes through a sleeve, and the sleeve on the outside rolls. It rolls, so when you're winding, that line is rolling on that rolling pin. That way going on better. Now, one thing I did notice a difference between the 170 and the blade. The 170, when you're retrieving with it, it works up and down. The blade does not do that. So for level line winding, notice how I said that slowly so I wouldn't mess it up. It allows the line to wind on in a level fashion because it moves up and down, where the blade does not do that. The blade is just like the old school ones, really, that it just winds the line up and the line has to kind of find its own groove. So I'm wondering if this 170 isn't going to be that much better than the PC fin was. Even though the PC fin worked great. I mean, it did fine, had no problems with it. So we're going to find out though. So I'm going to put this back together temporarily and I'll come back and finish that off. I can put it over here in my drawer that I left open. Now all I got to do is I'm going to tie on a leader. We'll put a 10-pound leader. So, oh, by the way, I did put braided line, PC fin, Onyx, 10-pound braided line on that 170. It went on really easily. And now I'm going to do a 10-pound leader, which I usually use a Trilene XL. Does fine for what I want it to do. And we're going to go out and hit the lake. See if this thing is better than the PC fin was with the rod, and see if the rod's better because of the handle being wrapped and no big gap there. And let's just put it this way. We're going to go out and see if I'm going to be happy. I know what you're thinking. That's an impossible task. Sometimes it is. But I'm hoping that I will be. I think I will be. I'm looking forward to it. It's really going to stink though that if I had this reel here with me all this time and didn't know, and it's going to be better than the other one was, and the rod's going to be better being wrapped in the middle, I might start wrapping all these things with that big gap in them. Why not? I might start a fad, a trend. I'm a trendy guy. Ball cap and logo shirt and all. Anyway, let's get out to the water. This is making all the difference in the world, because now I can hold on to something back here. Honestly, I don't know why they don't make reel or rods with paracord on them anyway. There we go. And he got off. How in the world did he get off from a hula popper? There we go. That fish really hit. Oh, that's a big fish. That is a big old fish right there. Come on, big fish. Let me see what you look like. Let me get a view on you. He's pretty good size. Makes the other three that I missed with the hula popper, I feel a little better about it. Let's put him down here. See if he'll get us wet. Go on. There he goes. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I didn't even set the daggone... That was pretty funny. You're another big bass. Okay, I'm good with this. This is good. Well, not a big bass, but another bass. Do a nice little release with him. See ya. Okay, let's try that again. Get that line out there. Got an entanglement happening here. There we go. Braided line is actually working in this reel. Now let's see, is there a fish on there this time? Yep, there is. All I did was untangle the line. There's a darn fish on it. Oh, that's funny. Drop you back in there since you so mean. Yeah, I think it's definitely time to go. I think I've proven my point at this particular time. So hey, did paracord handle work? It did, and it's actually a lot more comfortable than you would think. Is paracord handle pretty? No. Is paracord handle working even though it's not pretty? Yes, it worked out quite well. It made a huge difference in casts. My hand was on something that wasn't tapered backwards into a little 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch piece of graphite or whatever you want to call it. I will never understand that gap. I don't understand what it means. I don't know why they're doing it. To me, it is just copycat effect. The fancy people are doing it, so we're going to do it too. To me, that's all it is. But if that is what it is, Bass Pro Shops, for the love of fish, do your thing, okay? Don't worry about everybody else. Walmart, Ozark Trail, OTX, same with you guys. Extend the handle. It works better. It may be great on a spinning rod, but on a casting rod, it just doesn't work. At least not for me. You guys can tell me. There was a few of you on the last episode when I was talking about buying this rod, when I got it, you agreed that little short stubby is just not working. It doesn't work. So hopefully they'll learn something from it eventually or whatever, but maybe not. It may go on just being that way, and you'll just have to go to Harbor Freight, buy you some paracord, wrap it around there all nice and thick, make sure it's tight, and then it takes care of the problem. I had no problem with that, and it was not uncomfortable. Next time though, if I do it again, which I might do it to the OTX rod, it's going to be a little bit more, I don't know, eloquent, be a little bit more cautious about the loops being closer together and tighter together. But regardless, it worked. So we've had a pretty good day. Caught some decent fish, fixed a rod, and an update on the Acura. Power steering pump that we put on it, the brand new one, from the factory that we bought the pump from, there was an O-ring that was crushed in between the inlet pipe, which is plastic going to aluminum, and it was crushed on one side and messed up, and it was allowing air to come in, which was causing, oh, basically a power steering milkshake. That's fixed. So not a bad day. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was just bothering me. That rod was just bugging me. I mean, it's seriously at work. I was driving thinking about what I could do to fix that rod. So hope you enjoyed this little video, just saying you can fix stuff. Even if you don't like it, figure out a way to take care of it. Don't throw it in a corner and never use it again. Figure out a way to fix it. That paracord was $4.79 or something like that, and now I've got like 87 feet more to do something with later on down the line. The OTX rods, probably. Who knows? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all of you, and we'll hope you see you next time. I'm going home. I am. No, I'm going home. I'm hungry.